In this video, we're going to talk about some of the basics. It's going to involve everything from getting our environment set up, understanding how to install Python, and how to create Python scripts. Throughout the course, I'll be running on a pretty standard Kali image, but any Debian image will do. Python comes installed with most Debian-based distributions. So we're going to start by seeing which version of Python is running on our machine. To do that, we'll type Python space tac version. I call my dashes tacs just for reference. We can see that we're running Python 2.7.15. If you have Python 2.7 installed like I do, that's okay. However, for the rest of this module, we're going to use Python 3 because Python 2 is in the process of being phased out. My advice for anyone out there, if you're starting a new project, you're doing yourself a huge favor by using Python 3 over Python 2. There are a few changes, but overall the versions feel pretty similar. So let's make sure we have Python 3 installed. You can see we've got Python 3.6.6 installed. If you don't have Python 3 available, you can install it with apt. So the way to find packages, if you're looking for them, is just to type apt tac cache search and then what you're searching for. So we're searching for Python 3. Get a ton of stuff back, but you can see here that Python 3.6 would be the package you're looking for. So you would just type apt-get install Python 3.6. Now that Python's ready to go, we need to talk a little about REPL, or read, evaluate, print loops. When you run Python, you get shown a prompt. We'll look at it here. So at this prompt, you can pretty much type any valid Python code in, and the interpreter is going to read it, evaluate it, and then print the result of that statement. Then the loop starts again. It's pretty helpful for checking syntax or doing quick calculations, maybe even fixing bugs that are only a few lines long. So you can go ahead and give it a try. One of the things you can do right now with it, if you're not sure what else to do, is to type in help. And that's going to give you some things that you can look at. So you could get a list of topics that are available by typing topics. And then you could just read up on some of this stuff. So if you wanted to look at all the different types that are a part of Python, you could just type in types. And then do some, light reading. Spacebar scrolls down big. The letter B scrolls up big, and then to get out of this, you would just type Q. And then you can hit enter again here to get out of that, and then exit to leave the Python interpreter. Now that we know how to run Python code, how do we combine it all into a script? In this module, I'll be using Vim a lot, but you should use whatever text editor is comfortable to you. A lot of people like Sublime and Nano. So open up a new text file and call it goodmorning.py. In this file, we're going to write all of our Python code. So for example here, we'll just do a couple of print statements. And don't worry if you don't know what that means yet. We'll talk about it in some later videos. We'll just print good morning, and we'll print coffee is great. Now we'll just save the file and close it. And when we run this file, we just type Python 3 space in the file name, so goodmorning.py. When we do that, we see that our Python code was executed and ran successfully. But what if we don't want to include that Python 3 every time we run the file? To do that, first find the location of your Python 3 binary by typing which Python 3. And I'll just copy this. And we're going to place this at the top of our Python file. So open back up the goodmorning.py file. And on the first line, type a £, an exclamation point, and then paste that path in. What this is it lets the operating system know what interpreter should be used when executing this file. So in our case, the Python 3 interpreter should be used when we're executing this file. So now we can save it and close. One last thing we have to do, you'll notice that the executable bit is not set. So we have read, write, read, and read, but no execution permissions. So to fix that, we'll just chmod and add the X bit to our goodmorning.py file. If we look at it again, we see that executable bit has been set and the file now shows up green in my terminals, indicating that it's executable. So now we can run it like any other binary. There we go. Just as a quick aside here, if we were to change this directive to something, or just remove it completely, when we try to execute it, it tries to run with bash, which is obviously not what we want. So it's very important that you always keep this at the top of your files if you want to run them this way. All right. That's it for this video. In the next video, we'll start looking at the different variable types in Python.